What is it really like to spend 13 hours in business class on Singapore Airlines A380? After a dream vacation in the Maldives, we routed through Singapore just to try what many would call the best airline in the world. In this video, I'm going to take you inside the Silver Kris lounge and take you on board Singapore's A380. I'm going to give you a tour of the seats, tell you about the service, and show you all the food I ate and what it's like to fly 13 hours on this double-decker plane halfway across the world. But there's one part about this flight that completely surprised me, and not in the way you expect. Let's just say I've never had a flight attendant ask me to do this on any flight. This is the grand finale to our summer travel series, so buckle up because this might be the most epic way to wrap up our Maldives trip. If you have been following along, this summer trip has been like none other. We started with Qatar Q Suites and even got to try Qatar First Class. We spent a few days living in a 2-bedroom overwater villa at the Conrad Maldives, and honestly, this was one of my favorite trips ever. If you missed any of those videos, I've linked the full playlist below, and it's definitely worth going back to watch those first videos so you can see how we got here. And if you love travel tips, points and miles adventures, or just following our family around the world, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. It really helps us support this channel and we can teach you how to travel with points and miles so that your family can travel more for less. All right, let's jump into this layover in Singapore and then aboard the massive Singapore Airlines A380. I just want to pause and say thank you to each and every one of you. We have finally made it to 1,000 subscribers. In the last video, I asked you to show up and show support, and you guys did. And for that, I am truly grateful. Thank you for believing in this journey. Thank you for being a part of this community. Thank you for liking, commenting on all the videos. And I can't wait to look back at this milestone when we get to 100,000 subscribers. This is just the beginning. So here is to more adventures, more exploration, more travel, more credit card, more points. Thank you so much, and let's get back to that Singapore video. Hello from Singapore. We are here for an overnight layover on our way to New York, heading back home from the Maldives. And since we're here, we decided to see some of the iconic sites. The Marina Bay Sands is home to one of the highest infinity pools in the world. And we will not be going there today, but we are capturing the view from down here. Next up, we're gonna check out the Merlion. I mean, can you really say that you come to Singapore without actually taking a picture with the Merlion? After checking out the sights by the bay, we went to the Maxwell Hawker Center. And of course, we had to try the legendary Tian Tian chicken. Newsflash, we didn't love it, but let's just say, at least we got to try it.
It's not bad.
Yes, it is.
I mean, it's not great,
It's cold.
but yeah, I was expecting it to be hot. It's not flavorless, but it's not flavorful.
It's flavorless.
After that, we explored Little India, wandering through the markets and the colorful flower stalls before heading back to our hotel. We wanted to get some rest in preparation for the moment we have been so anticipating, our Singapore Airlines flight. Check-in was a breeze. There was absolutely no line, and if the customer service I received here at check-in was any indication of what was about to happen on our flight, I am already ecstatic about this journey that we're about to embark on. Hello from Singapore. We are wrapping up our overnight layover here, and the next part of our journey is about to be a big one. We are flying Singapore Airlines Business Class for the very first time. Now, while it's been one of my dreams to fly Singapore Airlines from Singapore to New York on the world's longest flight, I think I got a silver lining in this itinerary. So I managed to snag 4 business class seats from Singapore to Frankfurt and then from Frankfurt on to New York. Now, I've always wanted to fly Singapore Airlines, and my dream was to fly their longest flight from Singapore to New York. But I was a little sad when the only availability I could find was one with a layover in Frankfurt. But I think there is a silver lining in this case because now I get to fly 2 of their products. So I get to give you 2 different reviews. We are leaving here at 11 and we have a 13-hour flight between Singapore and Frankfurt. Then we have another overnight layover in Frankfurt. But the good thing is, I get to visit one of my favorite stores and we get to go check out Primark in Frankfurt. We're going to stay at the Hyatt Place right by the airport and spend some time in the city center, at the mall, and see what kind of things we can get into in Frankfurt. Now, first things first, no business class flight review is complete without a trip to the lounge. When you first walk into the Singapore Kris Flyer Lounge, you might be tempted to go to the right, but that side is mostly just seating and a small buffet. Trust me and head to the left. That's where you'll find a bigger seating area, more food options, and the real lounge experience. So for my first round of food, I went a bit rogue. I started with the dumplings, which were delicious, then immediately grabbed a ham and cheese sandwich with bacon. On my second trip to the buffet, I headed straight to the DIY noodle station. This is such a cool experience. You could build your own noodle soup exactly how you'd like it, with toppings like crab meatballs and a whole assortment of fresh add-ons. I think this was a pretty unique part of the lounge. After stuffing my face with noodles, dumplings, and a ham and cheese sandwich, I decided to end on a sweet note and have some Haagen-Dazs ice cream. After my sweet treat, I went to check out the shower suites, and I was pleasantly surprised. There's also a baby care room for parents traveling with little ones. You have to register with the attendants at the front desk to get on the list, and they will give you an estimated wait time. The shower suites are really nice, with plenty of space to freshen up before your long flight. Having access to a private shower is one of the most underrated perks of a lounge. The shower gel and shampoo in the shower were unbranded. At the counter, there was lotion and perfume from the English brand called Perry Halligan's. Overall, this whole setup gave me Middle Eastern airline vibes. It actually reminded me of the showers in the Qatar and Etihad lounges. After finishing up at the lounge, we spotted the Silver Kris sign and decided to take a family photo. But like most travel days, it feels like we can never get it together just to take the perfect shot. But at least we tried. Luckily, our gate was really close to the lounge, so it only took us about 5 minutes to walk from the lounge to our gate.
Thank you.
Even though you guys have probably seen me travel a lot, this experience still always feels like an amazing treat. This one is extra special. Finally, I'm getting to fly with Singapore Airlines not just once, but on 2 different flights in this trip, and honestly, it feels spectacular. As soon as we stepped onto the plane, I could tell the vibes was on another level. The flight attendant had the perfect mix of formal and polished, but you just knew They were going to be super chill. And this flight was going to be something I remembered forever. We're getting settled in, but right about now, something happens that literally has never happened to me before on a flight. One of the flight attendants came over with a request that completely caught me off guard. And I can't wait to share with you what she asked me. So stick around in the video so that you can find out what she asked me. And trust me, you don't want to miss it. A few days before our flight, I called Singapore Airlines to check to see if the bulkhead seats were available. And luckily, row 96 was open. Singapore Airlines allows you to book the bulkhead seats up to 96 hours before departure. But they do warn you, if a family boards a flight and a baby needs access to the bassinet seat, you may be reassigned. I thought it was worth taking the chance. And now we're sitting in the bulkhead row. I love this little mini cabin at the back of the plane. And it was just my family and 2 other ladies back here, so it was super cozy and quiet.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. My name is Ernest Wong. On behalf of all my crew, it's my pleasure to welcome you aboard our flight Singapore Airlines 326.
The A380 Business Class cabin is laid out in a 1-to-1 configuration. This is especially comfortable on a 13-hour flight where you don't have to be crawling over anyone to go to the bathroom. I specifically booked the bulkhead seat in 96 because I wanted the extra leg room. Second, it's more private. It's like a mini cabin experience. Row 96 is the very last section in the business class, and on the upper deck, it feels super quiet and intimate. Remember, these seats become available closer to departure, so check with Singapore Airlines about 96 hours before your flight to see if you can snag them for some extra comfort, especially on a long-haul flight like this one. Compared to some of the photos I've seen of Singapore Airlines' older business class, this one is like a breath of fresh air. While the airline is legendary for its customer service, some of its aircraft have been criticized for looking a bit dated. But this A380 feels pretty much updated, modern, and premium. The muted color palette and the leather seat colors, along with a touch of copper, makes this cabin feel very much updated. There is plenty of storage space around your seat for your personal items, and a large console to keep everything within reach. Everything feels very calculated and thoughtfully laid out. I really was excited to spend 13 hours here. I can't wait to test out the full bed mode and see if the Singapore service is really worth all the hype. If you're liking this kind of content, don't forget to hit like and subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you'll never miss another airline review. By the time I got back to my seat, everyone had settled in. My kids looked like they had been flying business class their entire lives. They have already ordered themselves a welcome drink, and my drink was waiting for me also. Just then, the safety video started playing. And I have to say, I love how Singapore Airlines does theirs. Many Asian cultures can come across very formal when given instructions.
During takeoff and landing, ensure that your tray table is stowed away. Put the back of your seat upright.
But in this video, it strikes a balance between respectful and still being warm and
Before we take
relatable.
off, stow your luggage under the seat in front of you or in the overhead compartments.
If you're flying on Singapore Airlines, my tip is always to go for the window seat if you can. It feels more like a little cocoon in the sky, especially that my kids are older and I don't have to keep an eye on them. But if you're traveling with a partner, the middle seats are also a fantastic option. There is more than enough room to create your own little double cocoon in the sky and enjoy the flight together. Waiting for me at my seat was a peach Bellini and a hot towel. And I love that the crew noticed that I wasn't in my seat earlier, but still made sure everything was waiting for me when I came back. I took a minute to check out my seat. I checked out the pillows, the blankets, and it all felt soft and comfy, which I knew was going to come in handy on this 13-hour flight. Then I settled in, gazed out at the window, and just had one of those little reflective moments. Here we go again. Another trip, another country, and I couldn't be more excited for what's ahead. As soon as the seatbelt sign went off, I went to check out the bathroom. And honestly, for an A380, it's a little underwhelming. I'd like to think that with all the space on a double-decker plane, that the bathrooms would be a bit more spacious for business class. But this felt like the same size as any standard long-haul airplane bathroom. With that said, they did the best they could with the space. There was fresh flowers, the vanity mirrors with almost stage-like type vibes, and plenty of amenities. Everything from razors, shaving creams, and dental kits. On top of that were some products from a brand called Payout. They had a facial mist, a perfume, and a hand cream. Now, you know I had to check out the perfume and the facial mist. I love a good facial mist, and my favorite is definitely from Qatar. At least they had seat covers, a full-length mirror, and a hand-free latch for the garbage can. These small details really made up for the difference in space. Now, what this bathroom lacked in size, it made up for in amenities. You could have all the toothbrush, shaving cream, facial mist, and perfume you want, and so I just had to get a few more sprays before heading back to my seat. I mean, do you blame me? Would you get a few extra sprays before going back? When I returned to my seat, the crew had given me an amenity kit from Le Labo. They also offered me a few extras like eye mask and earplugs if I wanted to add it to my kit. There was also another welcome drink sitting in my seat, but this time it was champagne. Truth be told, the Singapore Airlines crew is really trying to win me over. Later on in the video, I'm going to show you exactly what comes in this amenity kit. Welcome to Singapore Airlines Business Class on the A380. We've taken off, we've gotten our welcome drink, and now we are going to try the famous chicken satay. So it's chicken skewers, and it comes with a peanut sauce. And Singapore Airlines is famous for this appetizer. Wow, that peanut sauce. Just a perfect morsel of all flavors. Just a little bit of spice, peanut with the sweet. This is a definite must-do. Don't skip this. And if you do skip it because you don't like it, give it to somebody else that likes it. I'm gonna check with James. If he doesn't like his, I'm definitely eating it. Let me tell you how good this thing is. I want to get a spoon. I'll show you. Just scoop up some of this peanut sauce. Like, get a good, healthy serving. Like, these skewers don't really allow you to get a lot of sauce in it. You gotta use it like chopsticks, you know what I'm saying? Now we got some sauce. Peanut sauce. Lay the chicken on top. Nailed it. I ate all three of those skewers, and the flight attendant politely asked, would I like another one? And I was like, yeah. So she's gonna bring another one now. Thank you so much. Thank you. The best part about this second set is that they put the peanut sauce on top of the chicken. No scooping necessary. Look at all of that peanutty goodness on that skewer. This is how it has to be served, with the peanut sauce on top. No scooping. If this is the introduction to the food we're gonna get on this flight, I'm not sure how much sleep I'm gonna get. I'm sure my trainer's gonna be proud of getting in this much protein.
Can I get you some whites as well? Yes. I go back to Thailand like every month. I'm a homesick person.
Garlic bread.
Garlic bread. We want that. I want. Yes, I do have about something. I like the olive oil as well.
We're starting off with the second part of our appetizer. This is a salmon salad with the infamous Singapore Airlines garlic bread. This is a smoked salmon. And I will tell you, I'm not a smoked salmon fan. Actually, no, this looks like cooked salmon. But the dressing, it's really good. There's olives, some white thing, I'm not sure what it is, pickled onions and egg, and it's on a bed of lettuce.
Thank you. Enjoy the lobster.
So Singapore Airlines has an option where you can pre-order your meal. Their service is called Book the Cook. So they have an extensive menu, even more than they would have in flight. Up to 24 hours before your flight, you can go online and pre-order the meals that you want. I took the opportunity to Book the Cook and order the lobster. I'm not cooking lobster at home. I'm not buying lobster when I go to the restaurants at home. So I figure if I'm here and it's on the menu, I'm ordering it. I'm not gonna be all crass and not use a fork. So I'm gonna have one of the flight attendants bring me a fork for this meal. Service on this flight has been nothing but amazing. And for no good reason, I decided to ring the call bell to see how long it would take the flight attendant to bring me a fork. Oh, I might just have to eat it with a spoon then. I waited almost 3 minutes before I decided to press the call bell one more time. Let's eat it with a spoon. Yes, can I get a fork?
A fork? Oh, there's not.
Yeah, no, I think they picked it up with the other stuff. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. My flight attendant, Henry, to the rescue. Later on, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Henry. Let's just say he was one of the reasons that I think Singapore Airlines is moving to the top of my list. Creamy, juicy, buttery, served with a side of pumpkin, pickled on the tomato. The tomato is actually very, very sweet. Look at that. They have a specialty cake called Onde Onde. Singapore is apparently celebrating 60 years, so they have some specialty items on the menu, and this is one of them. The vanilla ice cream is just okay. Literally just okay. This cake really sold the dessert. I can't really put my finger on the flavor, but there's something in there. It's extra vanilla-y, extra coconutty. Yeah, mix the two together for sure. It takes it up another notch. Really good. After an amazing meal, I thought it was time to call it a night and get some sleep on this 13-hour flight. And as per usual, I'm having trouble with the seat, so I had to call a flight attendant to come and help me out. Apparently, the trick is to tap the button to activate and then hold it down to move the seat. The flight attendant was kind enough to make up the bed for me. She laid down the mattress pad, smoothed out the sheet, fluffed the blankets, and set everything up so it was perfectly comfortable. This is exactly what I needed to settle in for a few hours of sleep on this long flight. Now I know I'm a complete and utter klutz, but I can't take full responsibility for this drink spilling. The turbulence was kind of bad on this flight, and unfortunately, I spilled my Bellini. But by the time I went to the back just to ask for some napkins to clean it up, here comes Henry again to save the day. He was more worried if the drink spilled on me than about cleaning up the mess in the cabin.
I want to make sure that it's not spilled on you. Should I just bring you another Bellini?
I'm afraid it's gonna spill.
Okay, maybe after the
Okay, thank you. The service that you get on Singapore Airlines is definitely top notch, and I can see why people keep coming back. If you ever have the opportunity to fly the route between Singapore and Frankfurt, I want you to go ask for Henry. Tell him I sent you, give him a shout out. The service that he gave on this flight was definitely the best I've ever received. Next up, let's talk about the IFE, the in-flight entertainment system. This is an area where I think that Singapore feels a little dated. The screen isn't touchscreen, so you have to use the remote to navigate through the menus and control the monitor. Even in the bulkhead, where the screen is a little bit further, it still seems like I should be able to touch the screen directly. The controllers work fine, but it could be a little laggy at times, which to me is kind of frustrating. On a product that's otherwise so polished, this definitely is one of the weaker points, and I think this is something they could improve upon. Now, one thing I did like was that you could save movies to a list of favorites. So after you figured out what you wanted to watch, you can go back and pick from this short list. After dinner, I managed to get a solid 6 hours of sleep, which on a long-haul flight is always a win. The bed was really comfortable, and the best part came when I woke up. There, right next to me in my console, were 2 little Singapore Airlines teddy bears. My flight attendant, Henry, left them as a thank you for flying with Singapore Airlines. It's these thoughtful, personal touches that really set Singapore Airlines apart and makes their service so memorable. Since we were a few hours out from landing, I decided to check out the late night snack menu. I went for something totally unconventional for me. The Singapore Airlines carrot cake. Now, don't let the name fool you. This dish doesn't actually have any carrots in it. Instead, it's made with shrimp, potatoes, and some other crispy ingredient. It also comes with a side of sweet and spicy sauce, which I absolutely love. Henry, my flight attendant, recommended that I give it a try. And I'm glad that I did. It was surprisingly good. Way better than I expected. And I would definitely order it again given the chance. Have you ever tried this kind of carrot cake before? Or are you like me, picturing some kind of dessert version of this with frosting and cinnamon? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to know who else had this dish. After finishing up the late night snack and another movie, I tried to get a little bit more resting. And before you knew it, the crew was preparing the cabin for our final meal service.
Seared tuna with the crab mayonnaise. Okay.
The appetizer was a beautifully seared tuna with a crab mayonnaise. 2 things I have never tried before.
Kind of person. That's not something I would usually eat, but I'm definitely gonna test this one out because she says it has crab mayonnaise. The crusting on this is very good.
The other crew member came by with some fresh bread.
Thank you. Can I have this crisp bread?
You'd like to try to break the stick?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, let's try this crab mayo. This flatbread cracker. Yeah, it's definitely it. Cheers to trying something new. So adding the lemon with the balsamic on the tuna, with the crusting. Oh.
Then I was introduced to one of their signature drinks called a Singapore Sling. And where has this been all my life? I absolutely love this drink.
Singapore Sling. Why didn't I order this earlier?
There's something so special about dining on an airplane.
Cherry.
You're in this little cocoon, nowhere else to be, just enjoying the food and a movie. And speaking of movies, I was completely locked in. It got to the point in the story where it took a dramatic turn. I literally had to cover my mouth to mute my audible gasp. Can you guess what movie I was watching? Here's a hint. My flight was during July 4th weekend, and the movie had just been released in 2025.
So for dinner, I ordered the beef tenderloin, and it is served with mashed potatoes or polenta, and there are some roasted zucchinis on the bottom. And to top it off, I have a Sliver crisp sling. So they make 2 cocktails. Well, they actually make a lot of cocktails, but the 2 that I have chosen are the Singapore sling and the Kris Silver sling. The Singapore sling is a red drink and it's mixed with cherry brandy. This one is orange juice and pineapple juice. These are very good. Let's go for the polenta first. Creamy, buttery, seasoned to perfection. Good test is the vegetables, because those don't usually come out right. Wow. Let me cut into the steak. So I'm a girl, I know you guys hate it, that loves her meat well done. This does have a little bit of red in it, which might be perfect for you. For me, not so much, but test it out. It's a little chewy for me, but for some of you that like it medium well, this might be perfect. I'm probably gonna eat around the edges where it's fully cooked through. I know, don't give me shit on it. Don't give me any stuff about my well done meat. Now we're on to the final course. This is a light cake with mascarpone cream. There's some strawberries on top, some cake crumble, mascarpone cream. Very light, little fruity. Just a very light ending to a good meal. I hate to say this, but this could be skippable. And it was hard to think about counting calories on a flight like this, but you could skip this one. But I won't.
Now that we are completely full from all the food that we just ate, let's take a look at what's inside this amenity kit.
This is from one of my absolute favorite fragrances. This is from the Layover brand. Now, before I came on this flight, there were reports that were saying that Singapore Airlines is only offering amenity kits if you requested it. But when we came on this flight, we didn't have to request it. They just gave everyone in their seat an amenity kit. They did offer some extras. If you want like an eye mask, earplugs, or socks, they had on a tray and then you can pick from there. The amenity kit was not based on request. They just gave it to us anyways. So what I like about this amenity kit is it's kind of rustic. You can feel it. It's not what you would imagine Singapore Airlines to be like soft and delicate. It almost gives me like army bag vibes. And inside we have...
Included inside the amenity kit was a lotion, a lip balm, a facial mist, and a small plastic bag. I'm not quite sure what the plastic bag is for. Le Labo is known for its distinctive scent. However, the items in this amenity kit had a more mild, muted scent to it.
So I would say what would have been great in here is maybe a eau de toilette. Am I saying that right? A little perfume spray that maybe was either one of their signature lines or maybe they created a special line for this flight. This is a very cute bag and you will see me wearing it somewhere out here in these streets.
Remember that special request from the flight attendant at the beginning of the video? I mentioned that I have never been asked this before. Well, the flight attendant asked our family to take a special picture with the flight crew.
Flight attendant approached me and she says, "Is this your first time flying with Singapore Airlines?" And I said, yes. She let me know that this is very rare to have a female attendant in charge of the flight attendants. And she was going to have me take a picture because they were in a special uniform. Yeah, let's do it.
She made sure she fixed the lighting, she set the pose, she got Henry to take the pictures because she knows he's great at taking pictures. I would almost say that this Singapore Airlines flight edged out Qatar. And I've been on Qatar 3, 4, 5 times. I had such a great time on this trip. But you know what really sealed the deal? My son, who doesn't really say much, stopped one of the flight attendants and told her that this was his favorite business class flight. And honestly, I would have to agree. Singapore Airlines truly lives up to the hype. As we began our descent into Frankfurt, I couldn't help but reflect on how incredible the Singapore experience was. Singapore Airlines is officially in my top 3 business class flights, no questions asked. The crew from Singapore to Frankfurt was exceptional. Definitely a 10 out of 10. From start to finish, the flight reminded me of why I love traveling. The service, the comfort, and those little moments that make it all unforgettable.
Look at the mess he made. What? Look at this. I am so sorry. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. But look at her. So it's much cleaner. Oh my God.
Even
Bye,
with my
thank
son
you.
leaving a
Thank you
complete
very much.
mess in his
Bye-bye.
cabin, the
Bye-bye,
flight
thank
attendants
you.
were so gracious as we left the flight.
Thank
And
you.
Henry had one more surprise built in for us. He gave us a tour of the Singapore suites. And he told us that next time when we come back, this is how we should fly.
This is very to the next 1F2A.
Got it?
Yep. Or
Did you hear that, Jim?
1F2A.
1F, 2F. 1.
1F2A. 1F2A. This is the
Okay, Henry says that James is going to book this next time. Right, Henry?
yes. Definitely.
Thank you so much for a wonderful flight, Henry. I appreciate it. Bye. Bye.
Guys were amazing.
Oh, we got to tour
Bye.
the
Thank you
suite.
very much.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you.
And this too is a sticker. Who is this? Your minister?
Oh, that's mine. One of my kids left it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Henry and his team definitely went above and beyond. And I confidently can say that this is the best service that we have ever received.
What a great experience on Singapore Airlines flying from Singapore to Frankfurt. Henry and his staff was amazing. Best staff ever.
We landed in Frankfurt. Immigrations and custom was a breeze. We headed to our hotel. We had an overnight stay at the Hyatt Place at Frankfurt Airport. And we are excited to get on our second Singapore Airlines flight in the morning. Stay tuned. That video will be coming out soon.